Right now at 5, we're taking a live look at I-4 in Orlando here behind me, where City Commissioner says they'll start using dynamic tolling in express lanes soon. So that means using those lanes during rush hour traffic will cost more money. But could that happen here? Our Zach Wilcox is joining us live from a very similar sign where the express lanes start on 295 in Jacksonville. And Zach, that express lane has not seen any changes yet.
Yeah, Anthony, business as usual, or should I say commute as usual here in Jacksonville. You can see it has slowed down a little bit rush hour right now, and it's been that way for 3 years, where during rush hour there is a 50-cent charge to get onto the expressway, but otherwise throughout the day it's free. In fact, when we took it earlier, it was free today. But when we hear this news coming out of Orlando that it's going to be a little bit more of a fluctuating price to take that express lane, it does have some folks that we talk with here, a little concerned, wondering if that we'll see a similar change here.
Only when I see traffic, then and we see it's empty, that's what we take. But otherwise we don't. But I do use them in Orlando.
Beth Duncan says when the spring comes around, she finds herself on the express lanes on I-4 in Orlando almost every weekend for her son's basketball games. So it's inconvenient timing for her to learn about a plan that Orlando City Commissioner Shan Rose shared on Instagram, which will have the toll rates, quote, change throughout the day as needed, with the goal of keeping vehicles moving at a minimum of 50 miles an hour.
Because everything is going up. It's going to be, we'll have to think now twice before we have to go through this holes.
An FDOT spokesperson said when the express lanes on I-295 in Jacksonville were finished in 2022, it cleared up 30% of the congestion by town center. He said the initial plan was to eventually use dynamic pricing during peak hours, like what we will now see in Orlando. However, he said the I-295 express lanes in Jacksonville are not seeing enough traffic to warrant it. So, for the time being, I-295 will have the same structure it has for 3 years, with most times free and only a 50-cent charge during rush hour.
I don't think there's enough traffic to warrant that, typically for me.
Nicole Lake doesn't feel like there's any need for a surge price on I-295. In fact, she doesn't even like paying the 50 cents.
I'll use them occasionally when they're free on the weekends.
But she's glad to have the express lanes in a pinch.
Unless I had like a really important event that I was running out of time to get to, then I would pay the extra money.
Now, that FDOT spokesperson explained that a toll lane is a little different than a toll road like the First Coast Expressway, where it costs you just to get on the road. And he said there are no plans to incorporate any kind of dynamic pricing on any toll roads in Florida either. So, traveling as usual here in Jacksonville, but if you are heading down to Orlando, your next trip, you may want to check on that digital board above the express lane to see what the price is before you decide to take it, to determine if it's worth it or not. In Jacksonville, Zach Wilcox, First Coast News, on your side.